Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1645, October 23rd, 2025. A record high on this day that was established in a year that'll cause Katie Cashman to wonder, 1899. And it was 17 degrees on this day in 1936. Do yourself a favor, why don't you? And call Josh at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you! And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
I'm going to get this off right off the bat, and then my detractors can begin composing their emails. The president has the aesthetic eye of a medium-level pimp. That's the problem here.
All right, here we go.
This tearing down completely. First of all, he said the East Wing wasn't coming down completely. Now it is coming down completely. He went through no channels whatsoever. He went through no historic preservation channels. He just called somebody he must know that owns a bulldozer, and the thing is done. The East Wing is gone. It'll be gone by, what's today, Thursday? It'll be gone by this weekend. And then he's putting up a 900,000 square feet or 90,000 square feet? I think it's 90,000 square feet. Check that, John.
Yeah.
A ballroom.
Fun.
And people will say, well, FDR put in a pool. Well, yeah, he had polio, and that was one of the ways he kept himself fit. Plus, you don't see the pool. And then somebody put in a bowling alley.
That was Nixon.
Nixon had a bowling alley. Okay, you don't see that. But this guy with the aesthetic talent of a medium-level pimp, he's already got the White House draped in. I'm surprised Trump doesn't wear grills. I really am. Why not a set of grills, Don?
Air Force One with spinners.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Up and down.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that movie that
Curb
Snoop Dogg was
Feelers.
in?
Wasn't it Friday?
No, Soul Plane.
Soul Plane.
So I'm looking at a photo of
Just
Mount
a minute.
Rushmore.
John's got to go first. John,
90,000
90,000 square feet. Yes, Ken.
I'm seeing room on Mount Rushmore. We might have to take Lincoln off of there, but
Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Now, let me just say, I understand completely why Trump got elected. Trump was to be the antidote to the madness that we witness in America's urban. The closer you get to the country's tallest buildings, the more ideological insanity we've experienced. DEI, tearing down statues, gender issues, and on and on and on. He restores that kind of sanity. I understand that perfectly, and I'm in favor of him restoring that kind of sanity. But he's introduced something that absolutely cannot be called normalcy. Here's his problem. He overcorrects on everything. He just overcorrects. He literally bulldozes things down and starts over. Now, redoing the Rose Garden had nothing to do with why he was elected, and creating a ballroom has nothing to do with while he was elected. But these are the prices we're going to pay, apparently, for him having been elected. And he was elected because the country needed rescuing from the insanity that was raining down on it, from city councils to mayors to county commissioners to state governments. This country was is completely spinning down the drain. And in his own way, he's trying to stop that. But he has so overcorrected, we now face a completely different problem. The debt is up to $38 trillion. He doesn't stop spending money. He does things that are completely against the channels of communication. He's the Pentagon, by the way, has installed Mike Lindell as one of its correspondents. Okay?
That's bad.
Are you kidding me?
That's bad.
Jeez. Hey,
ballroom blitz.
so you know what? The country's in kind of a no-win situation. On the one hand,
What are we going to do?
we might get rid of all the BS we've had to put up with. On the other hand, we're inheriting a completely new challenge of BS. And this East Wing thing is horrible. This guy has no class at all. Look at the Oval Office. It looks like that secret room in a James Bond movie in Harlem where you walk through the empty garage and open the door, and that's where the pimp is. And it's got all this shag carpeting
Yes,
and leather
I see red
couches
lighting.
and gold lights and gold statues. And
Does he have a white kitty cat on his lap?
yeah,
And
it's just the guy has no style, no taste whatsoever. What?
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 In all, I'm not trying to be funny. In all seriousness,
Well, that won't be hard.
what will the ballroom be used for? I mean,
Balls.
are we going to rent it out? I mean, what is the
Can I-
purpose
You have
of
your
it?
wedding
May I?
there.
The grand opening, Kid Rock.
Oh, that would be sick.
Absolutely.
That would be so
Absolutely.
awesome. That would be so
Well, he's having a
awesome.
big wrestling match on the 250th anniversary of the country.
God, I hope
What
it's
better
Kid
way
Rock.
to celebrate?
It would drive you guys crazy.
Oh, I'd love every second
Oh,
of it.
that would be so fun. I
See,
would love
as a
that so
GLer,
much.
true believers, I'm not married to any one particular, any particular outlook. I go my own way, so do GLers, and I applaud much of the insanity being ridiculed by this administration, but I can't applaud what this administration also gets away with, which is an insanity of its own kind. The East Wing is bulldozed, and in its place, I guarantee you, it will be grotesque. It will not fit. It will be vainglorious. It will be shrouded in gold lame. It'll have curtains that are just. It'll be horrible. It'll be horrible.
I have the list.
It'd be like if a new archbishop came to town and he knocked off the east side of the cathedral and put up a casino. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Are you going to be okay?
That's supposed to be our house, the people's house.
This is our house.
This is my house.
Well, this will be our ballroom.
And he claims we're not. I don't want a ballroom.
You got to have a ballroom.
No, you don't need a
You need a
ballroom.
ballroom. Let's go.
You know what he needs? A lot.
Yeah. Let's get him a lot down
You
there.
should go down to Camel.
Yep. I do have a question because
So I just said I'm going to move on. I just had to get that off my chest.
We ain't going nowhere. I got the list of White House renovations throughout history.
Yeah.
But where would this be on par with some of the other ones? I know you mentioned the pool and everything else, but there were some other drastic
Like
changes.
what?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up here. Let me pull it up here.
You got it?
Joe, in 2007, there was a briefing room renovation under George W. Bush.
Oh, what?
A briefing room renovation under Bush in 1975.
That sounds entirely acceptable.
Okay.
What'd he put
Gerald Ford also put an outdoor swimming pool on the South Lawn.
I didn't know that, but I don't care.
In 1948 to 1952, the full structural reconstruction of the White House under President
Well,
Truman.
wouldn't that have needed to be done for a 200-year-old house?
Well, I guess, but isn't this on par with that a little bit?
No, this is
Okay.
from scratch.
All right.
This isn't restoring anything.
Roosevelt had a complete overhaul of the West Wing and construction of the current, well, now destructed East Wing.
Right.
Okay.
So what was wrong with those things?
No, I'm just saying. I'm
And they
wondering
were
how.
probably all discussed. Congress was probably in on it.
Sure.
The Capitol architects weighed in. Preservation committees had a say.
President Coolidge put in an attic,
An attic. Wow.
probably for storage.
Don't
Gotta put
forget
your
the
crap up
the
there.
British burned it down, remember, in 1812.
You can
So,
still
War
see
of
some of the
1812.
fire marks. I've been there. Remember the fire marks? You
Sure.
were measuring
Fire
your
marks?
head. Yeah, there where you could see marks of war in some of the woodwork in the front.
Oh,
and
yes,
outside.
yes. the
Is there any
fireworks.
truth that the new ballroom is going to be kind of a pole building?
No. No. We'd be
So it's not
better
gonna be
off with
steel.
that.
It's not going to be steel.
No, this will be $300 million of grotesquerie.
Yeah, the price went up again yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obama put in a basketball court.
Do I see it?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know. There's no photo accompanying this particular piece from the New York Post.
What
did Clinton put in?
A closet
a closet
with locks from the inside.
and a one-way window. What? Can I ask you something? Serious question.
Here we are. What do you need?
Ready?
I'm here for
We'll
you,
go
Joe.
around the horn. Rook?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, God.
What do you think of what have you traditionally thought of when you thought of the White House?
When I've thought of the White House, I have thought of how great it would be to be the president, run down to the kitchen,
I knew you were going to say food.
I did too.
and just
Which is fine.
putting the best part of being president would be planning meals.
Okay, thank you.
Forget
Kenny.
the country.
Thanks. Kenny?
The occupant is living in the people's building. I've always thought of that building as ours, the people of the United States.
John?
I agree with what Kenny said. Plus, just kind of when you see the picture of the White House, just kind of, it's a majesty, but it's not a, horrible majesty. It's
No,
just
not at all.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. Anyway.
Now it will be. Because he has the taste of a medium-level pimp. Chris?
When I become president,
Yeah.
one of the first things I'm going to do to the grounds is we are going to have the most state-of-the-art town baseball park. Complete with
you're not
batting
answering
cages.
the
That's
question.
not answering the question.
Come on, he's trying to-
Honestly, I would, like Rook was saying, not necessarily the food, but just what you would have at your expense would be absolutely
Jesus,
fascinating.
how
to
do you
me.
not understand the question?
I'll answer the question the way I was looking for an answer. You idiots are talking about food. I just thought of New England. I thought of it was the East Coast, and I thought of colonial days and Paul Revere, and I just thought of wooden teeth. And
You can't confuse
outhouse.
that building with any other building in the world.
you
It
will
is
be able to now.
It's distinctly USA.
It is
Yeah.
Camelot.
It was.
We're a long ways away from what you look at as Joe.
I know.
Long time removed.
I know what you're saying, and I do agree with you. I joke about being able to have the access to the kitchen, but having been there and, peering into the Oval Office.
Don't we have tape of us being there?
Yeah, there's
Reavers, are you
the
aware
White
of
House,
that?
I am.
White House tour.
And make this
But
all
it
about
was
yourselves.
it was neat. No, it was neat to see the rooms. It was really neat to see the press room, which is the size of a shoebox.
Very small.
But it seems like it's huge. And yes, I do agree with the stateliness of walking in there was cool. I'll give you that.
Well,
Is that kind of what you were looking for?
yeah, kind of.
But I always said, no, when you left, you asked if there was a garage. They said, not officially. And then you said, wouldn't this be a great spot for a ballroom over here by the West Wing? And they said,
I did not
we'll
say
work
that.
on that.
I did not
As you
say
walk
that.
through the
East
White
Wing,
House,
Matthew.
please make
East
sure
Wing,
that
yeah.
you don't touch anything or sit on anything. And now, please follow me.
Guys, hands off. We're going into the China room. The Secret Service is watching us.
Hey, why would we dedicate a room in the White House to China? That's pretty stupid. What'd they do for us?
Listen, just shut up and pay attention. Maybe you'll learn something.
Shh.
China, like this. Look at this.
Hey, nice going, Ace. Now what do we do?
Let's get out of here right now. Go, come on.
Hey, what's next?
I don't know. It's a room with a bunch of papers in it.
Well, here, give it to me. What do you got?
I don't know what this
Well,
is.
let me see it.
Just leave it. Let's go to the next room. We gotta catch up. What's in there, Kelly?
Oh, look at this beautiful red wallpaper. It's silk. Hey, Rook, don't poke your finger in it.
Look at this stuff. This is how they build canoes. It's kind of the canvas over the... Oh, that was not good. That
Hurry,
was
get
not
out of this
good.
one quick. Let's
go.
go.
Let's go.
Ooh, look at that red phone ringing in the hallway.
No, don't pick it up, you dummy.
What should I say? Hello, this is the president. Happy birthday, Mr.
Put the
President.
phone down now. Come on, let's go.
Hey, is that a bust of Lincoln?
No, that's a busted Lincoln.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Wow. Kenny, your thoughts. I'm watching you on the monitor.
Look at Kenny.
Those of you on
I'm
YouTube
so
that can see Kenny.
Oh, my God.
It took him back to his Brown Institute days. Oh,
The production quality is off the charts.
Look up.
I'm looking, Joe, accompanying this piece in the New York Post is a timeline of significant renovations to the White House, and they haven't done anything really since 1979, according to this piece.
Chris, I'm struggling to understand, as we say in New Age speak, where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Are you defending this ballroom?
No, I'm just
Well,
citing
then you're
facts.
pointing out nothing. You haven't pointed out anything.
We're
yet.
talking about White House.
I'm struggling to understand where you're coming from. My point is, this was all done for no other reason than his whimsy. No one was consulted.
Okay.
He must know somebody in the bulldozer business. He called him up and said, "Get over here and knock this damn east wing down because I'm building a ballroom."
Have you ever acted as a contractor in a building?
No.
You got to hand it to the guy. I mean, not only is he the leader of the free world, but he has the time to basically be the general contractor for a major historical addition to the White House.
No, it's not an addition. It's not. It'll be separate. He has destroyed a bit of history. Okay.
He's got plumbers on the phone. He's got the roofer, the
who's the
insulation
GC
guy.
on that?
And the very same guy who decries the destruction of history by the insanity that he ostensibly replaced, he's now destroying history.
You know what my answer is to everything that's been happening as of late? We live in historic times.
I do believe that under this new construction, there will be billboards associated with the ballroom attached to the roof that are available for rent.
Nothing I wouldn't doubt anything.
I was just going to say.
Changing billboards, so a new message comes up every 15 seconds.
Yes. Hey, we
Coming
should have
June 4th, Kid Rock.
Garage Logic podcast. Listen live.
No, once he hears this, we ain't getting invited.
30-year-old picture of everybody on the show.
Right.
Yeah, Reavers might. Me and Reavers might go.
Yeah. I'm going to go see Kid Rock at that wrestling match. What are you talking about, brah? 79, by the way, we installed solar panels that were removed under Reagan.
We removed
Chris, you
solar
got to
panels?
give up, pal.
Chris,
Sorry.
just give up. You haven't demonstrated one salient point. Not one.
Chris, I'm pretty tight with Kat Perkins. I bet she could get us on the guest list.
Oh, for sure.
She's one of the backup singers for Bob.
Oh, that would be
Bob
fantastic.
who?
That's
Kid
Kid
Rock.
Rock's real
Kid
name.
Rock. It's his real name. Yeah.
We call him Bob.
Bob.
You want anything else about the renovation?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm a taxpayer. I'm a citizen. I didn't want a ballroom.
Okay.
Did you want a ballroom? Was that a pressing need of yours? You don't care, do you?
I don't care either way.
You seem like you need a hug, Joe. Come on over here and sit on Daddy's lap.
I'll take my hugs out of the Eco Fund. Kaylin will give me a big hug. Let me tell you something.
You tell you something right now.
What's at the end of the season? You name it. You're getting a deal right now.
Everything must go?
They're the electric bike capital of the world. Those bikes are on sale starting at $999. All right. Motorcycles and scooters at their lowest price of the year. Get your ATV or side-by-side in time for fall hunting and winter plowing. Yamaha and Kawasaki models in stock, ready to go out and ride now. This is fantastic because it's you're never going to be in a store you'll enjoy more than EcoFun. It's on Highway 97, immediately west of the interstate, down in Burnsville on the service road of life near County Road 42. And when you enter it, it's just a gold mine of youth recreational equipment, scooters, the winter equipment coming in, everything on sale. It is fantastic. And, this weather will still give us another shot of decency, I believe. So there's still a lot of electric bike season left. Check it all out at ecofunmotorsports.com.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Everybody here on staff at Garage Logic remembers Julie, except of course Joe, for $1 million. Joe, she sent me, I stress me, a email.
Hi, Julie.
Yesterday. She addresses this email. Hiya, hot pants.
Whoa.
You know who this is.
Yeah.
I'm actually speaking on behalf of my hubby, Mr. Julie, who has been a big seafoam enthusiast for quite some time, and he wanted me to pass along his endorsement. We have a car that has over 200,000 plus miles, and he does regular oil changes himself and basic maintenance, which always includes using seafoam. His motorcycle regularly gets a shot of seafoam when it's time to winterize, and especially in the spring when it's time to get it ready to purr. Every motorized toy in our garage, including the brand new car, runs on seafoam. Tom said he's so sold on this product, he wanted to do an endorsement for you. So I'm letting you know you have another seafoam loyalist. He plans on ordering a seafoam sweatshirt from their website. I was told to pass along his comments and let you know seafoam has another solid customer. Thank you, Kenny. Love you and the boys. Gratefully yours, Julie. Thank you, Julie. We miss you a lot. You are fun to work with. The website that Mr. Julie is going to obtain that sweatshirt from is seafoamworks.com, where we can also find information on all the seafoam products and helpful tips on their usage. A wonderful product for wonderful people. Seafoam.
Joe, I have to share a quick email with you from loyal listener Mark in the town council. Mm-hmm. Joe talking about the White House sounds exactly like when he was talking about the Metrodome.
No, that's
maybe you should write a book.
That is completely inaccurate.
Oh,
that's completely inaccurate.
No,
I have never said the White House is a dump. What Trump's going to build will be a dump.
Okay.
But not the White House.
That's what you said. You said the dome was going to be a dump.
Right. But not the White House. I never said that.
He said the dome was a dump.
The dome was a dump. Never mind.
You want to stay with this topic?
I think you're confused.
I think you are.
Why don't you tell me?
I know you are. What's received, I would almost call an inordinate amount of attention, has been some incendiary devices tossed through the window of Fletcher's Ice Cream Parlor. That's on the 300 block of East Hennepin Avenue. It's a very LGBTQ BYMC 6-3 favorable establishment. And it flies the LGBT flag. And the proprietor, who's the proprietor?
Jason Fletcher.
Jason Fletcher believes that he didn't come right out and say it, but what I've watched on the news is he believes that might have had a role in the attack of this building. Well, now there's been an arrest made. This happened Sunday night, by the way. And it's a guy currently living in Fridley. He's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree arson in connection to this Minneapolis ice cream shop being firebombed twice in about 15 hours. His name is Firamosa Ahmed Umar. He's 30. He was captured in a vehicle described by witnesses near the U of M shortly after the second firebombing on Monday. The charging document does not list a motive for the attacks, but the shop's owner, Jason Fletcher, alleged in media reports that the business may have been targeted due to its large LGBTQ plus flag mounted outside the front door. Minneapolis City Council member Jason Chavez, who shouldn't be a city council member, also posted on X the alleged attack was due to marginalized communities being targeted. Okay. Umar is scheduled to make his first appearance on Thursday afternoon and remains in custody on $100,000 bail. Boy, they're treating this guy rougher than they do a lot of kids who steal cars and everything else, huh?
Yeah.
Here's a problem, folks. You're Muslims, and I'm comfortable in assuming that, well, it's only an assumption, that this guy's a Muslim.
Yep.
They don't like your LGBTQ people.
They do not.
All right, so the news media, the news gatherers in town are caught here between a rock and a hard place because according to their template, who do they root for in this situation? The template says that LGBTQ people are to be treated with kid gloves and given as much as publicity as possible, and so are our immigrant friends. So now you're stuck, because I got news for you. You get this crackpot Omar Fateh as the mayor, you're only seeing the beginning of this stuff, because the Muslims don't cotton to this. The Muslims don't go for this. Mm-mm. You know, all you morons who march around failed academy campuses cheering them on, and you're in the LGBTQ community, you're asking for trouble because it's oil and water. They don't mix. And the problem with a Muslim society is that the government essentially has no distinction from the religion. They're not distinguished. That's why this great free country was invented the way it is, separation of church and state. Just another thing those old white founders that you decry happen to get right. It's not right in the Muslim world. There's no distinction between religion and the government. So you may very well elect this crackpot in Minneapolis, and you'll be facing essentially a quasi-religious government. Because to them, there's no distinction. Mm-hmm. So now all you LGBTQ people who've been rooting for the likes of this guy, for Mosa Ahmed Umar, or whatever, you're going to get turned on. And I don't have any advice for you except don't elect Fateh as mayor. But this is what's going to happen.
That's why it was laughable anytime you saw a protest with the sign that read "Queers for Palestine." Like, do you not?
They'll throw you off the roof. Well, they'll throw you off the roof of a building.
Right.
Reality is greatly misunderstood by Mysterians.
Yes. Reality
is greatly misunderstood by Mysterians. And the reality of it is your LGBTQ plus 613 ZY9 1812 community cannot exist in harmony with a Muslim community. It's that simple. It just cannot. And I don't know where we are, but Fletcher's ice cream parlor is getting attacked presumably because of that LGBTQ flag.
Is it safe to say that with the election of a guy like Fateh that this would happen with more frequency? I mean,
I would suspect it would.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think it should, but it would.
Since you brought up Fateh, there's an interesting article online with a really bad headline, by the way, that doesn't bear anything, has nothing to do with what the story's actually about. Mm-hmm. But it talks about his history. And when he was in Virginia, he voted against a policy. The policy would have prohibited discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation. He voted against that with 3 Republicans. But now...
Wait a minute. So he voted against a policy that would have afforded rights to LGBTQ people. He voted against that in Virginia.
That is correct.
And then suddenly and conveniently he was in Minneapolis. And then what?
Well, he says the news accounts of his stance were wrong, which makes no sense. I mean, that makes no sense. And now he's voted in favor of every LGBTQ bill that has hit the Minnesota Senate since he's been there. And the part of the story is that he seems to change his mind a lot on issues, and that's one of the instances that is noted. It's a really good piece. It'll probably be in tomorrow's physical paper, I would think. It does. They have the headline though, "The Fierce Urgency of Omar Fateh."
Yeah, I saw that.
The headline sounds, like go get her, go get him, and then you read
they're promoting him.
Read me the headline, John.
"The Fierce Urgency of Omar Fateh."
Oh God.
Yeah, and you read the story, and it's a very level-headed story about him and his history and his bad traits.
If it makes you feel better, though, Johnny, because I saw that this morning as well, they got savaged for that headline on social media.
Well, yeah, it's dumb when you read the story. It makes no sense compared to the story.
So, Joe, while John was looking that up, I got curious and looked to see how many Muslim members are on the Minneapolis City Council. Aisha Chugtai, Jeremiah Ellison, he's not running again, right? Jamal Osman, and possibly Urin Chowdhury. 4 of them on the city council.
The problem with Fateh, well, there's many problems. But the main problem is he perfectly fits the model of the activists who tend to get elected. He brings nothing of measure to a candidacy for mayor. He has done nothing. He has not invented anything. He's not worked. He's not paid a payroll. He's done nothing except act out his activism.
So
and he
you're
lost
saying
a school board seat in Virginia. Shortly thereafter, arrived in Minneapolis, presumably because maybe relatives here, and unbelievably quickly, he had a series of do-nothing jobs in the government, none of which could be measured for achievement or success. And the next thing you know, he's in the legislature.
The problem is here, Joe, is you're addressing the congregation and the choir.
Yeah.
You need to find a different audience for this. You personally should be going door to door in Minneapolis with this message.
Well, maybe this proprietor of the ice cream shop, Jason Fletcher, maybe you want to take some steps, Jason, and maybe you want to consider the possibility of what your life might be like, you and your ice cream shop, if there's a complete Muslim takeover of the city. I'm being serious. You might want to really consider that, because I don't think it would bode well for you.
Nobody seems to be considering that, even on a global scale,
No,
Joe.
No.
All the people that have been siding with Hamas, for instance, I don't think they realize what Hamas stands for.
Because Mysterians have a hard time understanding and grasping reality. They don't think beyond headlines. They don't get it. Whatever it is, they don't get it. And this guy, Fletcher, had to learn the hard way. Now, will he do something about it? It's not up to me to go door to door. I don't live in Minneapolis, and I don't have a business in Minneapolis, although the election of Omar Fateh would affect everyone in the state eventually, somehow. But Jason Fletcher, you might pick up the mantle here and begin to address what you think might be happening. What other reason would somebody from Fridley named Faromsa Ahmed Umar, 30 years old, suddenly decide to firebomb an innocent little ice cream store on Nicollet Avenue? Can somebody tell me he didn't try to rob it? He didn't want an ice cream cone.
There's only one conclusion to draw.
What conclusion are you drawing?
This was a direct attack on the LGBTQ community because of a belief or ideology, I guess is a better way to put it. That's exactly what this is.
And here's how strange the world is. It's taking garage logic to point out to the LGBTQ people that you're in trouble. It's taking garage logic to do that.
What an odd twist.
Why don't you try to get this Jason Fletcher on the air tomorrow?
Okay.
He'd be interesting to bounce this off of. Are you going to do anything about this, Jason? Do you sense that there's something to be warned here? Do you think there's a message that you might carry to your people? I'm reasonably confident he's in the LGBTQ community, if you know what I mean. So you got a nice little ice cream store there. Business might have been great. Why did this guy, with the name of this guy, why did he suddenly show up and firebomb you? Is there something is there some water you think you should be carrying to your brothers and sisters and neighbors in the LGBT crowd? I think there is. And it's taking garage light. You ain't going to get that from traditional news gathering because they don't know where to be. On the one hand, there's wholly invested in anybody who has skin of color. On the other hand, they're wholly invested in the LGBTQ people. They don't know what to do here. They're not going to warn the Star Tribune's not going to warn the LGBTQ people to really think hard about this upcoming election. That's not in their purview. They won't do that. But that's
wow.
Have you noticed, by the way, apparently to give it a sheen of journalistic integrity, there hasn't been one now for a few days, but the Star Tribune has published at least 3 pieces and probably more in letters and editorials on this thinly veiled finding fault with Rick Kupchela's documentary.
Yeah, it's been fascinating.
It's been fascinating to the point where they're now demanding. It's just frustrating them no end. We want to know who paid for this.
Why does that matter?
Which gives it the sheen of pretending it's almost journalistic for them to seek such answers. Well, right. Who gives a bleep who paid for it? You haven't knocked down one fact of it.
Yeah.
Not one fact of it can be questioned, and yet you're hung up. You think you might gain some ground by wondering who paid for it. I paid for it, okay?
Yeah.
So what? I didn't, by the way. But my point is, what difference does it make who paid for it?
Go after the gun, not the shooter. Go after the gun instead of the mental illness that led the shooter. I mean, that's how they do it.
All we have is gun violence. No, we have human violence.
Yeah. Yep.
You Star Tribune people aren't fooling anybody with this ridiculous.
No, they are. They're
not fooling us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
With this ridiculous inquisition. Well, who's paying for this? In other words, who has dared point out the failures of that which we're so invested in?
Well, it's like you brought up a few weeks ago, and you keep talking about they always depict conservatives in a negative light. Mm-hmm. Conservative media outlet, ...
Well, the left-wing zealots have not been able to point out one factual flaw in Kupchela's film.
Right.
Not one.
Right.
So you have nowhere to go except now you're wondering who paid for it. What difference does it make? If you found it to be full of factual flaws, then you have a right to wonder who paid for it.
I want them to go through that piece bullet point by bullet point and, fight back if you have a problem with it. But they can't do that.
They can't. There's no factual inaccuracies.
Correct.
The DSA is ruining the city.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
They're not business friendly. They're not law enforcement friendly. They're not capitalism friendly. They're nothing. They're anarchists. They have no business running an American city.
That felt good.
It did. It did. But it was long overdue. Well,
yes, sir.
No, we've said it many times, haven't we? What am I looking for here? Well, I'll tell you what I'm looking for.
You want this story in the White
no,
House?
I'll tell you what I'm looking for.
It'd be fun to get the members of the Star Tribune to just bring them in the studio and just sit them down and just yell at them.
Just say, what the hell's wrong with you?
Just sit down and shut up and listen.
Extra is ordinary in Sioux Falls. Look at the numbers. Well, here's the number I like the best. Voted #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes magazine. Sioux Falls is growing. 300,000 people. Low cost of living. Ready and willing workforce. No state No personal or corporate state income taxes, no inheritance tax. Entrepreneurs are welcome. If you're looking to move your business, expand your business, or start from scratch, maybe you want to consider Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They got an airport and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got,
They got a good one.
They got restaurants. They got.
I've been to their airport.
They got an orchestra. They got everything.
I flew
and
out of there.
everything you want to know to help you decide about Sioux Falls is your location can be found at Sioux Falls Development. That's one word, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Truth, justice, and the Souchere.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut. Let me hit that button right there. They are the best, and they are going to do an amazing job in upgrading the quality of your water. They have done that with me. In fact, yes, it's true. I started as a customer of Hofferman Water and Connecticut, and it's been a great relationship over these last couple of years. And you know what? In both my previous home and my current home, we have upgraded our water because we want nothing but the best. They will do that for you as well. But fall is a great time to get on that schedule. So have them come out for that free water analysis, and you book your appointment one of two ways. Call them directly at 612-895-2440 or go online to HoffermanWater.com. Either way, you can book your appointment. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer, whether it's a brand new water softener, maybe an iron, rust, and odor filtration system, or a brand new drinking water system, or heck, get them all while you're at it. Anyway, but they got to get on that schedule. They're going to give you this thing that's called a water score. And then based upon that water score, they can give you some suggestions on how they can upgrade the quality of your water. They have done that for me. They will do that for you. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's John Heidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Minnesota Republican Representative Elliot Engen announced this morning he's going to run for state auditor, saying he'd expand the office and increase accountability. As would be expected, Engen focused on the numerous ongoing fraud investigations involving Minnesota state agencies, something candidates are likely to do in the lead up to the 2026 election. He's a second-term lawmaker, first elected in 2022. He represents Centerville, Circle Pines, and Lino Lakes in Anoka County, as well as North Oaks and parts of White Bear Township in Ramsey County. Engen joins a quickly growing field looking to replace Julie Blaha, who announced last month that she will not seek re-election next year. Since then, 5 others have officially jumped into the race. DFL Rep Dan Wolgamott, former Fergus Falls Mayor Ben Shearer, Braham Mayor Nate George, Tonka Bay Mayor Adam Jennings, and financial manager Zach Filipovich.
Isn't it amazing?
You got the guy on that list that we had on at the fair? Read me that list again.
Dan Wolgamott, Ben Shearer, Nate George.
Nate. We had Nate on at the fair.
Mayor Brand.
Yeah. Go Nate.
Isn't it amazing that this guy's campaign slogan, which is I agree with completely, is basically, I promise to do the job.
Yeah.
St. Paul City Council is thinking about a gun violence prevention ordinance, making it one of more than a dozen cities aiming to regulate weapons, although any such ordinance would face legal challenges. Mayor Melvin Carter introduced the Gun Violence Prevention Ordinance yesterday. As introduced, it would include bans on assault weapons within city limits. The mayor's office said it's only intended to ban public possession of those weapons, not ownership in general. The ordinance would also ban ghost guns, large-capacity magazines, and binary triggers within city limits. The city said ghost guns don't include firearms manufactured before 1968, antique firearms, or firearms rendered permanently inoperable. However, this whole proposal faces challenges because state laws restrict cities from enforcing gun regulations without approval from state lawmakers, and that would appear unlikely. November 5th will be the second reading of the ordinance and public hearing. The third reading of the ordinance and vote from council members is set for November 12th.
3 things on that list. I actually wrote this down yesterday. Require all firearms to have a serial number and prohibit untraceable ghost guns. That's already a thing. Maybe somebody call the mayor, knock on his door, say, hey, that already exists. restrict firearms in sensitive public places such as parks, libraries, recreation centers.
That already
buildings.
exists.
Already a thing, Mayor. Maybe look around. Ensure clear signage at public facilities to inform residents to encourage compliance. Also to inform criminals that it's okay to commit gun felonies here. Establish penalties for violations and authorize enforcement by local public safety officials, to which I wrote, do what now, Melvin? Isn't that already a thing?
Plus, the cops who you hold in contempt, not you necessarily, Melvin, you don't hold them in contempt, but you're not a cheerleader. The very force that has been questioned, you expect them then to enforce this.
Yeah. You got to get out more, Melvin. Seriously. Talk to some people.
Is he doing that, Kenny, or is he doing that because he knows this will look good in a press headline?
Well, it looks good in a press headline.
Of course he is, yeah.
Speaking of St. Paul, remember this summer's cyber attack on the city?
Boy, do I ever, and I bet the bill for it will be really something.
Have we fixed her yet?
Nope.
That's what this story is about, Chris. City's director.
Almost.
One day closer.
City's Director of Technology and Communications says our critical systems are all up and running. If you're doing business with the city, you likely won't even know that we had a security incident. However, he said it'll probably take a few more months to get a higher percentage of our systems up and running, the city running at about 75%.
I don't think anybody notices.
I got a snowmobile running at about 75%.
Yeah.
In a few weeks, the city said an outside forensic firm's review should have a report back to the city, the extent of data taken to see if any possible resident or worker data was involved. Previously, St. Paul has reported that the attacker exposed about 43 gigabytes of data from a Parks and Rec network drive.
What will that cost us, Melvin? A couple mil for that outside forensic expert?
Metropolitan Council voted yesterday to enter into a contract with the Department of Transportation to provide express bus service from Big Lake and Elk River to downtown Minneapolis. The new Route 882 will begin service on January 5th in place of the North Star commuter rail line, which the council voted to shut down due to low ridership and high operating costs. North Star's last run will happen over the last weekend in January as the train will serve fans who are headed to the Vikings' final home game of the season. Bus trips from Big Lake to downtown Minneapolis would take 77 minutes and 51 minutes from Elk River, according to a presentation delivered to the Met Council earlier this month. The Met Council had previously approved replacing trains with two express routes serving North Star Park and Rides in Ramsey, Anoka, Coon Rapids, and Fridley, and that left just Elk River and Big Lake with no substitute for North Star, even though nearly half of the rail line's riders boarded in those two communities in Sherburne County, according to Metro Transit.
John, you mentioned the last Vikings game there.
Yeah.
I'm sensing no fever for tonight's game.
It's because they're probably going to get steamrolled.
Right. I'm sensing no excitement whatsoever.
Disagree.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
There was Viking fever at the airport.
People flying to L.A.?
There was an extra flight to L.A., but Viking garb was all across the
Well,
board.
they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Authorities are searching for a man who robbed Aldi on Rice Street in Little Canada Sunday night.
And got $9.
Right.
That's what I thought too. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says he held the cashier at gunpoint in front of two children, ran off with an Aldi bag full of cash, and rode away on an electric scooter.
It was an Aldi bag, but he had to bring his own.
Right, he had to bring his own.
One of the children was in the suspect's line of fire, according to police. Luckily, nobody hurt. The man, between 30 and 40 years old, was wearing a green jacket, blue jeans, tan shoes, and a distinctive green hat. Authorities say he's between 5 feet 5 inches and 5 feet 7 inches with an average build and a mustache. There are pictures of him on KSTP.com if you'd like to take a look. The part of the story I found interesting was he just jumped on an electric scooter and rode away.
One of the sit-down kind?
I don't know.
Oh,
It just
that'd
says
be
electric.
Not the
terrible.
Bob kind. He means the line.
green.
Oh, yeah, the rentals.
Did he have
Did
two
you
legs?
say-
Did he have two legs?
What did he steal?
Money.
Okay.
$32.
So it wasn't a loaf of white bread and a jar of ketchup?
No, bag full of cash, it says.
Okay.
But their teeny little cash registers that they carry around have got to have maybe $75 in there.
Not much, yeah.
Well, we said that, Matt. There's not much at stake here.
I don't think you said an amount.
No, I don't think I did.
Do you want more White House facts?
No.
Oh.
Why don't we maybe that's coming up? No, we probably
No,
skip that in the national
let's-
news. Let's take a break here.
Let's go.
I like pictures of Mr. Franklin.
Let's go.
Midnight Express.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
In national and international news, the Treasury Department announcing new sanctions targeting Russia's oil sector. They did that yesterday, one day after the president confirmed a planned meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin to talk about Russia's war with Ukraine was off. The two companies being sanctioned in Russia are Rosneft and Lukoil, along with some of their subsidiaries, according to the statement. Despite the war and the battered Russian economy, Rosneft and Lukoil are worth more than $50 billion each and are two of the biggest companies listed on the Moscow Stock Exchange. 2 new U.S. strikes on alleged drug smuggling boats in the eastern Pacific had killed 5 people in total, according to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Both vessels were, in his words, known by our intelligence to be involved in illicit narcotic smuggling and were carrying narcotics. Hegseth said the strikes in 2 separate posts on X yesterday were both in international waters. 3 people were killed in the attack announced late Wednesday, while 2 died in the previous strike, which apparently took place on Tuesday. Hegseth referring to those killed as narco-terrorists. Federal government shutdown enters its 23rd day today after becoming the second longest funding lapse in modern history. This eclipses the 95-96 shutdown during the Clinton administration. The holdup continues to be over health care. The House last month passed a 7-week bill extending government funding at its current levels. Democrats are seeking an extension of COVID-era subsidies for health care plans otherwise set to expire December 31st. More than 24 million people in the U.S. are insured through the programs, with about 4 million expected to lose coverage if costs increase next year. The Senate failed to pass the House bill yesterday for the 12th time. Tomorrow, federal workers will miss their first full paychecks. Hundreds of thousands of employees received partial paychecks on October 10th. Meanwhile, speaking of health care plans, a new survey from the Kaiser Family Foundation finds the average cost of a family health insurance plan offered through employers increased 6% to $26,993. By comparison, KFF says the wages grew 4%, inflation up 2.7%. One of the biggest impacts of the shutdown is about to hit tens of millions of the poorest Americans hard, the halting of SNAP. Several states are now warning they will be forced to suspend supplemental nutritional assistance program benefits come November 1st if the shutdown stays on that long. SNAP, referred to often as food stamps, serves about 42 million low-income Americans. The program, run by the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, issues as electronic benefits. Numerous states, including Minnesota, have issued warnings this week saying benefits are at risk or may be delayed if the shutdown continues.
I don't think the shutdown will ever, I don't think the government will ever resume.
Period?
Period. I think we're in for a new way of governing. I don't think there'll be a government.
Really?
It'll just be hanging out in the ballroom.
Maybe that's how we'll open up. We'll have a grand opening of the ballroom as we reopen the government.
Could.
You know, a little black tie event. Yeah. I have a question about
soon.
About the EBT stuff. Soon. And I don't deny that there's obviously a number of people that need that program. I'm not denying that whatsoever. But I got a tough time having sympathy for influencers on TikTok going on there and whining about their aid getting cut.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that.
A story you hinted at earlier, Joe, several conservative news outlets said Wednesday they had agreed to a new press policy rejected by legacy media organizations and will take their place in the Pentagon. To cover Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the U.S. military, the new Pentagon press corps will include the Gateway Pundit, the National Pulse, Human Events, podcaster Tim Pool, the Just the News website, Frontlines by Turning Point USA, and Lindell TV, run by MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell.
Well, I'm relieved because if there's anyone with their pulse on world events, it's got to be Mike Lindell.
Pentagon's announcement yesterday came less than a week after dozens of reporters from outlets.
Have you ever met that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the show.
We all did, I think.
God almighty. You got to be kidding me. This is like Camelot.
Major
Joe
outlets.
Souchere here to tell you that My Pillow is the official.
Are you
that.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Well, that was a long time ago.
It was. In fact, that's almost
That's
exactly
when he
10
made a
years
good
ago.
pillow.
Is it really that long ago, Chris?
Yeah.
Holy
2015.
I wouldn't sell a pillow for that guy for all the tea in China.
Do you think, maybe I've thought about this more than I should.
Maybe.
Do you think maybe this is his way of getting rid of him and shutting him up and putting him in a corner so he stops bugging him?
Could be.
And doesn't run for governor?
You have to admit the position sounds kind of made up and stupid.
Oh, okay, buddy, go sit in the corner.
Well, plus, if he
here's a
runs for
cracker.
governor,
Go play.
he guarantees a Wall's victory.
Yes.
He would ruin the state by running for governor. We're already having it ruined.
A new ballroom at the state capitol.
Joe, unfortunately, most Republicans that run against Walls ensure a Walls victory.
No, not Kendall Qualls and not Kristen Robbins.
Well, why didn't Kendall get the nomination then? Seriously,
Because the
party
Republican Party is a screwed up party.
Thank you.
Sports note, sort of. Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier are among more than 40 people charged in connection with schemes involving illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia. Rozier is accused in taking part in an illegal sports betting scheme using private insider NBA information, according to officials. He is charged in a separate indictment. Billups is charged in a separate indictment alleging a wide-ranging scheme to rig underground poker games that were backed by mafia families, according to authorities. Billups, you may remember, spent a couple years here with the Timberwolves in the early 2000s.
I want to do a scheme. Does anybody have any scheme ideas for me? Yeah.
I'm not that smart.
My current scheme is I want to get Gabe a key. Seems like that's very controversial there in the building.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to make me any money though.
I want a key too, though. Can I have one?
I've got a key. I'll just whip out a bunch of copies and start handing them out.
Come pick up my amp then.
my
Don't
scheme.
email me. Email Kenny.
Yes.
I've already blocked Tom, so he can't email me.
That's something guys used to have a lot of.
Keys?
Schemes.
Yeah.
Like
Money-making
Richard Royce.
schemes,
You know, the
women's
guys now
schemes.
dead, the guys from the 50s and 60s, they always had schemes. They were going to make a fortune.
The Chow Cone.
The chow cone, Mile Man was the magnetic signs that blew off the car. You know, they always had. He had a machine in the garage to stamp out the sign. He said, "Let's test this one." I came back. There was no sign. He said, "Where is it?" It's on the median on Highway 61.
How fast
But
were you going?
no, but he and his buddy, they'd buy some piece of crap building, and that was going to be a big scheme. And nothing. They always had schemes. Patrick's dad had schemes.
You know what, though? They were always thinking. They were
Yeah,
always thinking.
they had their noggins working.
We
They
gotta
never
get
got
this.
rich doing it, but they had
Patrick's dad,
schemes.
didn't he have baseball schemes?
Oh,
brought,
yeah.
Brought in pros for the town ball team.
Oh, he shocked the entire region by bringing in these great black ball players from Kansas City, and the Rubes just sat there with their mouths open, not knowing what to do. You know,
Until their team started winning.
Yeah.
There's a great book about Bismarck, North Dakota, my home area. Somebody brought in Satchel Paige and several other black ball players. Of course, there
Fantastic.
wasn't a black person in Bismarck at that time. So
you're saying he stuck out a little bit?
A little bit, yes. The entire team did, apparently. So, a new study has found that a dose of COVID-19 mRNA vaccine could significantly increase survival time for people with stage 3 or 4 cancer who were getting immunotherapy. Findings are preliminary, but if they're validated in a larger, more conclusive clinical trial, the result could be what's called a new paradigm by Dr. Elias Seymour for cancer care. Researchers analyzed records from more than 1,000 patients with advanced lung or skin cancer who were getting immunotherapy. The analysis of lung cancer patients compared two groups. A group of 180 people with advanced lung cancer who got the COVID-19 mRNA vaccine within 100 days of starting immunotherapy, and another group of patients who received the same drugs but didn't get the vaccine. The researchers discovered that people with advanced lung cancer who got the vaccine nearly doubled their survival time from 20 months to almost 40 months.
John, I hate to call you on the carpet, but I think the word is paradigm. not paradigm.
No, I think it's paradigm.
I think
It's paradigm.
Kenny, yeah.
Now,
Paradigm.
Matthew should be the final judge on how to spell and pronounce that word.
I go paradigm.
Yeah.
Did you, Kenny, since
Too
you brought
complex.
that up, did you read words in books till you were 20 years old and you pronounced them your own way and then you discovered you were
John.
wrong about them all?
I'm 60.
No.
Okay. I'm
Not
still
really,
doing
John.
it.
I always tried to pronounce them correctly.
Well,
Not
I did
only
too,
that,
but I thought
I was
was
very vocal in high school when people would read them the right way and I would correct them the wrong way. It's paradigm, dummy.
I'm with a group. I hang out with a group of people, and when the word anonymity comes up,
Yeah.
it's just it's almost.
Is it a struggle?
It's almost a theater production. It's just,
Anonymity. Okay, Porky Pig.
Yeah.
I told you guys this before, I think, but Yosemite Sam, till I was about 20, was Yosemite Sam to me because
Well,
I didn't know any better.
Okay, Chai Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. Chai Rodriguez.
Oh,
John, that's fantastic
Okay,
stuff,
yeah.
and
Thank
it's
you.
just wonderful.
Seems like we're done with you, John.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com.
Ooh, look at that stuff.
A wonderful time to stock up before we get to the holiday season is right now. In fact, the sweet and savory seasonings and rubs are great any time of the year. It's always grilling season.
Isn't this stuff all natural?
All natural, Joe. 100% pure.
I mean, there ain't no
No additives.
stuff
None of them
in there.
paradigms in there. None of that
none
stuff.
of that stuff.
I used it on the rub on the pork roast this last Sunday, and it was.
Did you go sweet or did you go
phenomenal.
savory?
I went savory.
You went savory?
Yep.
Well, they're both great. In fact, I might make ribs this weekend. That's a good idea, Rook. Thanks for that idea. No
problem.
But also for the bakers in your life, they have the pure, 100% pure maple sugar for baking. But you cannot go wrong. It's 100% pure maple syrup, the best that Minnesota has to offer. And it's our buddy Ben. He's the GLer and the head of Masters Maples at mastersmaples.com. Also, by the way, now available at all Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores locations. So if you can't get to Frats, then just order online at mastersmaples.com, and then you can taste the difference.
Here is the GLer of the...
We're not back yet, Joe.
Oh.
There it is.
Here we go.
Commencing Garage Logic segment number 1.
We haven't heard that in a long time.
We have a big announcement. That's it. We have the GLer of the week for this
Hang
week.
tight. Cue the talent. And
At the curtain.
This week... This week's GLer of the week is Ron Louderback of Shoreview, Minnesota.
Way to go,
Hello,
Ron.
Ron. Please have his gift bag sent here. Ron Louderback. Oh, that's the mailing
address.
I
Yes.
have entered into promo suite for prize
You don't need to read that, Ron Burgundy.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, then all I got for you is Ron Louderback. You're getting all that free SIRAP.
And you know what? We
Here
just
you go.
mentioned mastersmaples.com, but
Yeah.
you can become the GLer of the week. All you have to do is upgrade to an annual town council membership, and then you will be eligible, and you'll be treated to things like the opportunity to win Masters Maples, and also our rant about a particular spec ad we did yesterday.
All right.
That paid for everybody's...
I have a request for a ruling. Good day and hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you!
That wasn't your best. My wife and I enjoyed traveling, and we recently returned from a bucket list trip to Cairo, Egypt. On the way home, we had a layover in Munich, so we decided to stay for a couple of days to enjoy Oktoberfest. During the adventure, we purchased several postcards to send back home, and that's where we need a ruling. I maintain that a postcard does not count if you don't put a local stamp on it and mail it from the place that you're visiting. I believe that part of a postcard's charm is the foreign postage received mark that bears the name of the location from whence it departed. On the other hand, is my wife's opinion that a postcard is just as good and just as well received if we buy it, bring it home, put an American stamp on it, and then send it. She says that our friends and families know where we are, and they'll be just as happy to get the cards after we get home. We did encounter some logistical difficulties, language barriers, and poor directions to post offices and letter boxes during our trip, but to me, that's part of the fun. We are willing and eager to accept your ruling on this, as it will affect future trips and travels. Have a wonderful day and try to avoid the dummies. Ken in Colorado.
I know my answer.
P.S. Was the Flashlight King negatively affected by any of the No Kings protest rallies? No, I was not. I was not.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I have a ruling. I'm going completely with the hubby on this one. What the hell is the point of a German postcard when you're mailing it from White Bear Lake?
Amen.
Or wherever, Colorado, wherever.
That's the gut instinct.
You know, you put the foreign stamp on there and you post it, and it'll get there 2 weeks after you get home. I think that's fantastic.
I see the problem, though, is what type of postage, German postage, do I need to get it back to the States?
Well, they'll tell you what the post office.
In German?
Yes.
That's the
Dummkopf.
9!
I loved getting postcards. I loved sending postcards.
I do, too.
I would always send my grandma and grandpa a postcard, and I'd just say hi. And that's all I'd say.
When my Uncle Beanie would go to visit Florida,
let's have your postcard stories.
He would always send me a postcard, and it was very thrilling to see those.
Yeah.
Paul Petrozewski in Dallas.
What do you know about Uncle Beanie?
In Dallas writes, we moved to Dallas 22 years ago this week. Over the years, we have accumulated a bit of stuff that ended up in the garage. More stuff than I care to mention. Well, the weather has started to represent the 21st winter here, with lows in the 70s and highs in the mid-90s. Oh. We decided it was time to start getting rid of the extra junk we have around, starting with the pile in the garage. While I was organizing my garage wood, which was kept, a cardboard tube on the shelf in the back corner of the garage caught my eye. You know, one of those tubes where you might store an unframed piece of art. That tube was probably placed on that shelf 22 years ago with the idea that it would be framed and displayed in the garage where it belongs.
I know what it is.
Well, life gets away from us sometimes, only to revisit with a cool discovery and a great story to share with you and the crew many years later. This is one of those times that I can finally frame and display my treasure in a place of honor. Based on the date of your autograph, I must have stopped by the talk shop at the State Fair and got your scribble between segments. If memory serves, Box the Clown was there that day as well.
Oh, sorry.
Paul Petrozewski, President, Royal Order of the 21st Dallas chapter. And he sent me a picture of the Garage Logic map, and we dated it 1996, I think.
Those are the good years. Those are the good years.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, Paul's been a fan for a long time. I recognize his name.
Yeah, I do too. Paul writes frequently.
Yeah.
He's not the guy with the precocious kid, is he? Because they also moved to Texas. You know, the 10-year-old that knows more about GL than we do?
I don't know if that's
we haven't heard from him in a while.
Maybe that's Paul.
I don't know. It's not ringing a bell.
I wonder if that kid stopped listening when you went on that first Trump rant.
Wow.
Probably.
The aesthetic eye of a mid-level pimp. I'm proud of that line.
Yeah, it took you a while to think that one up, didn't it?
Only because they come to us all the way from Spain.
You think they sent a postcard?
The traveling linemen. If the linemen send postcards, I guarantee you they do it right. They put the stamp on it where they are and mail it from where they are.
Spain, where the sun also rises.
That's right. On this day...
Today is October 23rd.
Well, on this day in 1905, that would be 120 years ago, actress Ethel Barrymore appeared in the play Sunday, which ran through October 25 in St. Paul. Huh. Boy, that's a week. This day
That's
what
a highlight.
Yeah. On this day,
it's October 23rd.
In 1920, Sinclair Lewis's novel Main Street was published. In 1930, the Sauk Center native was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. I think that's a worthy one.
That's noteworthy, yeah.
Okay.
On this day...
Joe, today is October 23rd.
In 1934, Minnesota residents Jeanette and Jean Picard ascended in a hydrogen balloon to a record 57,579 feet. Jeanette made a total of 6 trips into the stratosphere and later served as a consultant for NASA. I think that's
Can
a worthy
apricots up there, Joe? Do they ironically have 6 children?
Just see what it's like in space.
On this day in sports disappointment history.
Who'd we lose to on October 23rd?
Well, on this day in 1921, the Marines lost to the Packers 7-6 on a missed kick.
Oh.
That must have been the Minneapolis Marines?
Yes, sir.
And the Packers would have been what?
Green Bay.
In 1921?
I don't know.
Yeah. On this day,
October 23rd,
1982. I have no idea what this means. Fry, not F-R-E-Y, F-R-Y. Fry dressed as a farmer to throw shade at Gophers. I have no idea what
would that be Hayden Fry, the Iowa coach?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Okay.
On this day,
Joe, today is October 23rd.
1997. No Room for Crybabies was released for
Denny
purchase
Green book.
in the Twin
my
Cities.
God.
Was that what that was?
That was Denny Green's book.
Boy, thank God you're here because I didn't know any of these.
I thought you were part of it. No, Royce was included in that, not you.
Yeah, that was Barrero,
Royce, and
Lavelle.
No, it
were
wouldn't
they
have
the
been Lavelle.
Crybabies?
No, they were the
3.
he had a word for it.
Yes.
They were trying to run him out of
Not
town.
Brotherhood.
Sansevere. It was Sansevere, Barrero, and Royce.
Whatever happened to those guys? I know where Royce is.
Sansevere's doing a podcast. Barrero was just ripping you off.
Yeah.
Again.
Dan, that was rookie, not Reavers.
Sorry, Dan.
Thank you, GLers.
Hey, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Let's do us a favor. How about that? What now? Subscribe to the Garage Logic YouTube channel. That's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and you can watch the show each and every single day, starting right around noon. You can also see full segments, video shorts, there's behind-the-scenes footage. However, it's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic, that's 2 words. Search Garage Logic on YouTube, and also search for us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com.